Have you ever spoken to the universe and wondered if it ever speaks back? Have you ever whispered a wish, cried a prayer, or silently begged for a sign and waited, hoping that something out there is listening? We all have. But here's the truth most people never realize. The universe is always listening. The real question is, are you speaking the right language? The universe doesn't respond to words. It responds to energy. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold sends out a vibration. And the universe matches that frequency like an echo in a canyon. When you say, I want abundance, but deep inside you feel fear, doubt, or lack, the universe doesn't hear your words. It hears your vibration. It hears, I don't have enough, and it gives you more reasons to feel that way. That's how the law of vibration works, long before we even talk about manifestation. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you want to listen to 98 FM, you have to tune to that frequency. You can't stay stuck at 89 and complain about the static. That's exactly how the universe works. If you want peace, you must tune into peace. If you want love, you must tune into love. If you want success, you must tune into belief, gratitude, and action. Every emotion you carry is a message you're sending out, and every outcome you receive is the echo coming back. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman who was tired of her life, tired of rejection, failure, and loneliness. Every night, she would cry and ask the universe, why me? Why can't I be happy? And nothing changed until one night, something inside her shifted. Instead of asking why, she started saying, thank you. She said, thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the pain that shaped me. Thank you for what's coming, even though I can't see it yet. And slowly, her world began to change. People entered her life who helped her grow. Opportunities appeared she once thought impossible. What changed? Not her circumstances, her frequency. She started speaking the universe's language, the language of gratitude, belief, and emotional truth. You don't speak to the universe with your mouth. You speak with your emotions, your intentions, and your energy. When your heart and your words align, the universe listens. When they don't, it gets confused. You can't say, I'm abundant, while secretly believing you're broke. You can't say, I'm loved, while carrying the vibration of unworthiness. You can't say, I'm ready, while holding on to fear. The universe doesn't respond to your mask. It responds to your truth. So if you truly want to speak to it, you must become emotionally honest. You must first clear the noise inside you. Here's how you do it. Get still. Silence the mind and feel your emotions instead of running from them. Ask clearly. Speak what you truly desire, not from desperation, but from faith. Feel it now. Visualize what it would feel like if your desire was already true. Release. Stop asking when or how. Trust the process. Act in alignment. Do what a person with that reality would do. And most importantly, stay grateful, because gratitude is the universe's favorite frequency. The moment you combine clarity, emotion, and faith, your message becomes unstoppable. A young man once told me, I kept begging the universe for a job I loved, but nothing happened. I asked him, what did you feel when you asked? He said, worried, desperate, scared. I said, then that's exactly what the universe gave you, more reasons to feel worried. So he tried something different. He started waking up every day saying, thank you for the job that fulfills me. Even though he didn't have it yet, he acted as if he did. He visualized himself walking into an office he loved. He felt the gratitude before it arrived. Within a month, he got the job, and it matched exactly what he had imagined. Coincidence? No, that's resonance. He spoke clearly, and the universe heard him. But here's the greatest secret of all. You're not separate from the universe. When you speak to it, you're really speaking to your own higher self, the infinite part of you that already knows what's possible. That's why when you believe, things shift. When you doubt, things delay. Because it's you creating it all, through focus, emotion, and energy. The universe isn't somewhere out there. It's right here, inside your thoughts, your actions, your vibration. So stop asking the universe to change your life. Ask it to change you. Because when you change, everything else changes too. When you start speaking to the universe properly, it starts replying. not with words, but with signs. You'll see repeating numbers. You'll bump into the right person at the right time. You'll overhear something that feels meant just for you. Those aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. That's the universe whispering, "Yes, I heard you. Yes, you're on the right path." But to notice those signs, you must stay aware, not anxious. The anxious mind blocks messages. The grateful mind receives them. Sometimes, the hardest part of speaking to the universe is waiting for the response. Because silence doesn't mean no. It often means not yet. The universe rearranges people, places, and timing. So when your desire arrives, it's perfect. Don't lose faith when you don't see results immediately. Don't think your voice isn't heard. Sometimes the universe is just preparing the stage before your miracle walks in. And when that day comes, you'll realize the universe was never ignoring you. It was preparing you. Here are some key points related to this. The universe doesn't respond to words. It responds to energy and emotion. Your vibration, thoughts plus feelings, attracts experiences that match it. Gratitude and belief are the strongest frequencies for manifestation. Align your emotions, intentions, and actions. That's how you speak clearly. Signs and synchronicities are the universe's replies. Stay aware and grateful. The universe isn't separate from you. You are part of it, and your energy shapes your reality. The universe doesn't respond to words. It responds to energy. You can say every affirmation in the world, write 1,000 wishes, or whisper prayers into the night sky. But if your energy doesn't match your words, the universe won't understand what you're asking for. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and saying, "I am confident," while your heart beats with doubt and your stomach twists in fear. The mirror won't show you confidence. It will reflect your real emotion, the trembling beneath your smile. That's exactly what the universe does. It doesn't listen to what you say. It feels what you mean. Think of a moment when you walked into a room and instantly felt tension without anyone speaking. You didn't need words to know something was wrong. You felt it. That's how the universe reads you. It senses your vibration the way you sense that unspoken energy in the room. Every thought, emotion, and belief you carry is like a frequency, and the universe acts as the ultimate receiver, picking up signals from your inner world and mirroring them back as real experiences. So if you send out fear, you attract more reasons to be afraid. If you send out gratitude, life begins to open doors you didn't even know existed. There's a story of a man who desperately wanted to change his life. Every morning, he stood in front of his mirror and said, "I am rich, I am successful, I am powerful." But deep down, he didn't believe a single word. His heart whispered, "I'm broke, I'm failing, I'm scared." And guess what the universe heard? It heard the fear. It heard the doubt. It matched that vibration and gave him more of what he unconsciously believed. One day, he sat down in silence and realized something. He didn't need to say the words anymore. He needed to feel them. He started visualizing what it would be like to truly live the life he wanted. He imagined the warmth of security, the calmness of freedom, the joy of success. He stopped asking when it would come and started feeling as if it already had. That shift, that emotional frequency, was the moment he truly began speaking to the universe. It's like tuning a guitar. If one string is out of tune, the entire song sounds off, no matter how perfectly you play it. Your emotions are those strings. You can't play the melody of abundance with the string of fear vibrating underneath. The universe responds when your inner music is in harmony, when your feelings, thoughts, and actions create one consistent note. And the most beautiful part is, you can change your tune anytime. By choosing better thoughts, by focusing on gratitude instead of lack, by believing in possibility instead of fear, you shift your entire frequency. There's a quiet power in emotional honesty. When you admit, "I'm scared, but I'm willing to believe," the universe hears that willingness. It responds not perfection, but to truth. A woman once said, "When I finally stopped pretending to be positive and started being real, everything changed." She wasn't radiating fake happiness anymore. She was vibrating authenticity. The moment she allowed her emotions to breathe, pain, hope, confusion, and all, the universe met her halfway, because energy flows where honesty goes. Have you ever noticed how children manifest so easily? They imagine something with complete belief. They don't question it. They don't overthink or analyze. They simply feel joy, curiosity, and certainty that what they want is coming. That's the frequency the universe understands. Pure emotional clarity. Somewhere along the way, adults lose that connection. We replace feeling with logic, trust with control, and faith with fear. But when you start returning to that childlike energy, you start speaking the language of creation again. It's not about saying I want or I wish. It's about saying I am and feeling it as truth, because energy is emotion in motion. The more deeply you feel what you desire, the more you embody it. The faster the universe rearranges itself to match you. Your vibration becomes a magnet. That's why two people can say the same affirmation, yet one sees results while the other sees nothing. It's never about the words. It's always about the energy behind them. The universe hears your emotions louder than your voice and always speaks back in the same tone you send out, waiting patiently for the day your energy finally matches the life you say you want. Your vibration is a silent signal that tells the universe what to send you. It's not something you see. It's something you feel, and it shapes every experience around you. Think of your life like a mirror. Whatever you project inside, the mirror reflects back. If you stand before it and smile, you see a smile. But if you frown, the mirror doesn't lie. It gives you back the same energy you offer. The universe works exactly like that. It doesn't send you what you want. It sends you what you are. Your vibration, the mix of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, is like a frequency that attracts matching experiences, people, and outcomes. You're not chasing them. You're tuning into them. There's a man I once heard about who was always struggling financially. No matter how many jobs he took or how many side projects he tried, something always went wrong. He'd get close to success, then suddenly lose everything again. One night, tired and defeated, he asked, "Why does this keep happening to me?" He didn't realize that his vibration was built on fear. Fear of losing, fear of failing, fear of never having enough. That fear became the frequency he constantly broadcasted. And since the universe doesn't interpret fear as words, but as energy, it simply said, "All right, more fear it is." The man was trapped in a loop, not because the universe was cruel, but because it was consistent. It could only give him what he vibrated. One day, something shifted. He met a mentor who said, "You don't get what you want. You get what you feel ready for." Those words hit him deeply. He began to notice how he felt every time he thought about money. Tense, anxious, doubtful. So he started small. Instead of repeating, "I'm broke," he began saying, "I'm learning to trust abundance." He looked for tiny signs of wealth, a free coffee, an unexpected compliment, a stranger's kindness. Slowly, his energy changed. His vibration shifted from fear to gratitude. Within months, opportunities began appearing, not by magic, but by match. The universe was simply responding to the new frequency he had tuned into. Vibration is like music. You can't play a sad song and expect people to dance with joy. The melody you send out is the rhythm life moves to. That's why some people seem to attract light wherever they go. They carry a vibration of peace and self-worth. Others, even when they try hard, attract chaos because they carry unresolved pain. The universe doesn't judge this. It just mirrors it. If you want to change the reflection, you must change the vibration. Think of a woman who always found herself in unhealthy relationships. Every time she met someone new, she'd say, "This time will be different." But deep down, her vibration still carried the wounds of betrayal and abandonment. Without realizing it, she kept attracting people who matched that frequency, those who confirmed what she already believed about love, that it was painful, uncertain, temporary. Then, one day, she stopped searching for love outside and started healing the energy within. She learned to say, "I am enough." She spent her evenings in peace rather than loneliness, her mornings in gratitude rather than need. Slowly, her energy transformed, and so did the people who showed up in her life. Her vibration no longer screamed, "I'm afraid of being alone." It whispered, "I am whole." And that's when love finally found her, not because she begged for it, but because she became aligned with it. People often think they can hide their emotions, but vibration doesn't lie. You can smile through pain, but the universe feels what's beneath the surface. You can say, I'm fine, yet the vibration says otherwise. That's why awareness is everything. When you become conscious of your emotional frequency, you reclaim your power. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start realizing, what is my energy creating? You begin to understand that every person, every moment, every delay or blessing is a reflection of what you've been broadcasting. There's a quiet moment when this truth really sinks in, when you realize that you are not at the mercy of chance. You are in constant conversation with the universe through your vibration, and this conversation never stops. It speaks when you're happy, when you're angry, when you're afraid, when you're grateful. The universe listens to the emotion behind the words, the belief behind the action, the energy behind the silence. And when that energy changes, when your vibration rises, everything around you begins to rise too, not because the universe finally noticed you, but because you finally started speaking in its frequency. Gratitude and belief are the strongest frequencies for manifestation because they come from a place of abundance, not lack. When you're grateful, you're telling the universe, I already have everything I need. When you believe, you're declaring, what I desire is already on its way. Together, these two emotions create a magnetic vibration that draws blessings toward you like a current pulling the tide. Most people think they have to wait for things to be perfect before they can feel grateful. But the truth is the opposite. Things start becoming perfect when you begin feeling grateful first. Gratitude changes how you see the world, and belief changes how the world responds to you. There's a story of a man who had lost nearly everything, his job, his savings, even his confidence. Every morning, he woke up heavy with worry, wondering how he'd pay his bills or rebuild his life. One day, he heard someone say, gratitude turns what you have into enough. The words annoyed him at first. How could he feel grateful when he had nothing? But something inside told him to try. That night, he sat on his bed and whispered, thank you. Even though he didn't know for what, he thanked life for the roof above his head, for his breath, for the one friend who hadn't given up on him. It felt strange, but he kept going. Day after day, his list grew longer. Slowly, the heaviness began to lift. His focus shifted from what was missing to what was present, and the moment his energy changed, his reality followed. Within weeks, new opportunities began to appear, small at first, then bigger. Gratitude didn't magically solve his problems overnight, but it changed him, and that change altered everything around him. Gratitude is like sunlight. Whatever it touches begins to grow. When you focus on what you already have, you send out a vibration of completion, and the universe responds by giving you more to feel complete about. It's not a coincidence that people who live in gratitude seem to attract miracles. They aren't lucky, they're aligned. They understand that gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a form of communication with the universe. It says, I trust you. I believe there's meaning even in this. And when the universe feels that trust, it mirrors it back with abundance. Belief works hand in hand with gratitude. If gratitude is the soil, belief is the seed. Without belief, even gratitude has limits. Belief is what keeps you walking when you can't see the path ahead. It's what makes you hold on to faith when nothing around you makes sense. There's a story of a young woman who dreamed of becoming a writer. She faced rejection after rejection. Every letter that said, no, felt like another door slammed shut. But instead of giving up, she said to herself, I believe my story will find its place. She kept writing, believing that the universe hadn't brought her this far to abandon her now. Years later, the same publishers who once turned her away came back asking for her work. She smiled not in pride, but in quiet knowing, because deep down, she had always believed. When belief and gratitude meet, miracles follow. Imagine someone planting a seed. Gratitude is a joy of already having soil to plant in, and belief is a faith that something beautiful will grow even when you can't yet see it. People who lack belief dig up their seed every day, checking if it's growing, and wonder why nothing happens. But those who believe water it daily with faith, trust the process, and celebrate even the smallest sprout. The universe rewards that patience with bloom after bloom. Gratitude shifts your energy from I need to I have. Belief shifts it from I hope to I know. When you combine them, you stop chasing and start attracting. You begin to live as if your desires are already real and that energy is irresistible to the universe. You might wake up one morning and realize that the life you once prayed for has quietly become your reality. Not because you begged for it, but because you believed you were worthy of it and stayed thankful even in the waiting. Gratitude opens the door. Belief keeps it open and together. They turn your silent prayers into echoes that the universe cannot ignore. Alignment is a moment when your emotions, intentions, and actions begin to move in the same direction, like three instruments playing one perfect note. Most people speak to the universe with their words, but contradict themselves with their feelings and behaviors. They say they want peace while feeding chaos. They dream of success but act from fear. They pray for love while holding on to pain. And then they wonder why nothing changes. The truth is, the universe doesn't respond to confusion. It responds to clarity. When your words, emotions, and actions align, your energy becomes focused, powerful, and unmistakable. That's when manifestation starts to flow naturally, without force or struggle. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a river, wanting to reach the other side. They shout, "I'm ready to cross," but their feet stay frozen on the ground. The current won't move for them until they step in. The universe works the same way. You can't say, "I'm ready for my dream life," while staying in the same patterns that keep you stuck. You must act in alignment with what you desire. Alignment isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about making small choices every day that match the energy of the life you're asking for. There was a woman who constantly said she wanted love, yet every time someone tried to get close, she pushed them away. Her words said, "I want connection," but her actions said, "I'm afraid to be vulnerable." Deep down, she carried a belief that love would hurt her. Her energy was divided. Her intention pointed one way while her emotion pulled another. It wasn't until she faced that fear, forgave her past, and opened her heart again that things began to shift. She didn't find love by chasing it. She found it by becoming emotionally aligned with it. When her heart, mind, and behavior spoke the same language, the universe finally understood what she wanted and delivered it effortlessly. There's something magnetic about people who live in alignment. You can feel it when they walk into a room. They don't need to announce their dreams or prove their worth. Their energy speaks louder than their words. It's a kind of calm confidence that says, "I know who I am and I know what I'm creating." Life tends to open for people like that because the universe recognizes coherence. When you stop sending mixed signals, your energy becomes a beacon. The right people, opportunities, and experiences begin to find you, not because you're lucky, but because you're clear. Think of alignment as a conversation with the universe where your emotions are the tone, your thoughts are the words, and your actions are the proof. You might say, "I want abundance," but if your actions come from scarcity, constantly worrying, comparing, or resisting, you're sending a mixed message. The universe doesn't judge. It simply mirrors back what you're broadcasting. The moment you shift your behavior to match your desire, like saving money instead of fearing bills, like showing gratitude instead of frustration, your frequency changes, and so does your reality. I once heard a story of an artist who dreamed of becoming successful but always said, "I'll start creating once I have more time." Years passed and nothing changed. One day, he decided to paint for just 10 minutes a day, no matter what. He didn't have a perfect studio, expensive tools, or guarantees, just a small brush and a quiet belief that his effort mattered. Within months, his passion reignited. He started attracting commissions and collaborations. People began to notice his work. The moment he acted as though his dream already mattered, the universe responded. That's alignment, faith in motion. When you live in alignment, life stops feeling like a fight. Things begin to flow because you're no longer moving against yourself. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions become allies instead of enemies. You no longer need to chase. You start to attract. Alignment is a kind of peace, a deep knowing that your energy and your behavior are working together toward the same outcome. And when that happens, the universe doesn't have to guess what you want. It feels it, it understands it, and it moves heaven and earth to meet you where you are. Gratitude is a language that opens every door in the universe. It's not just saying thank you when something good happens. It's the ability to see light even when everything around you looks dark. Most people wait for life to be perfect before they feel grateful. They wait for the promotion, the love, the success, the peace. But the truth is, the universe doesn't respond to waiting energy. It responds to thankful energy. Gratitude tells the universe, I see what's already here, and I'm ready for more. It shifts your frequency from lack to abundance, from complaint to appreciation, and from fear to trust. Imagine two people walking through the same storm. One curses the rain, angry that their clothes are soaked. The other closes their eyes for a moment, feeling the cool drops on their skin, grateful for the water that nourishes the earth. The storm doesn't change, but their energy does. And that change of energy creates a different outcome. The first person walks heavier, seeing only frustration. The second walks lighter, feeling alive, aware, connected. Gratitude doesn't erase problems. It transforms how you experience them. It helps you see the hidden blessings that were invisible when you were focused on what was missing. There was a man who lost his job after 15 years. At first, he felt broken, angry at life, and scared for the future. But one morning, instead of drowning in worry, he decided to write down 5 things he was grateful for. It started small: his morning coffee, his health, his family. Every day, he did it again. Slowly, his energy changed. The bitterness began to fade, replaced by curiosity and hope. Within months, he found himself starting a small business, doing what he truly loved. Looking back, he said, losing that job was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to find myself. That's the quiet power of gratitude. It doesn't change your situation immediately, but it changes you, and that change attracts new possibilities. Gratitude is magnetic because it signals to the universe that you already have enough. And when you live as though you have enough, life gives you more. It's like tuning a radio. When you focus on lack, you broadcast scarcity, and that's what comes back. But when you focus on what's working, on what's beautiful, even in small moments, your signal becomes abundance. You start to notice opportunities that were always there, but hidden behind your complaints. You start meeting people who reflect your energy of appreciation. The universe mirrors your state of being, not your words, not your wishes, but your energy. There's a story of a woman who, after years of struggling, decided to practice gratitude for 30 days. Every morning she whispered, "Thank you," before her feet touched the floor. At first, it felt forced, even silly. But then something began to shift. The coffee tasted better. The sunrise looked brighter. Her conversations felt deeper. It wasn't that her world changed overnight. It was that she began to see the world again. Gratitude opened her eyes to the abundance that had always been surrounding her. By the end of the month, she wasn't chasing happiness anymore. She was living it. One of the most powerful things you can do when life feels heavy is to stop and say, "Thank you. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the growth. Thank you for the chance to begin again." It sounds simple, but that small act changes everything. When you express gratitude, your heart softens. You stop resisting and you start receiving. Even science backs this. Studies show that people who practice gratitude daily experience higher happiness levels, better sleep, and stronger relationships. It's proof that what you focus on expands. Gratitude is not about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to notice the good, even when it's small. It's standing in the middle of chaos and saying, "I still see beauty here." When you do that, the universe listens. Because gratitude is not just emotion, it's communication. It tells the universe that you trust the timing of your life, that you're open to receive, and that you already see value in what you have. And when you start speaking that language, the language of thank you, the universe replies in the only way it knows how, by giving you even more to be thankful for. Faith is the bridge between what you can see and what you're asking the universe to create. It's not about blind belief. It's about quiet trust, the kind that whispers, "Even though I can't see it yet, I know it's coming." The truth is, the universe doesn't always give you signs and flashing lights. Sometimes it tests your patience, your courage, your ability to hold your vision when everything around you looks uncertain. Faith is not proven in moments of clarity. It's proven in moments of confusion. It's easy to trust when life is unfolding perfectly, but the real test is when nothing seems to make sense, when you planted the seed but can't yet see the bloom. Think about the farmer who plants a seed in the soil. He doesn't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. He waters it, tends to it, and waits. He knows that just because he can't see what's happening doesn't mean nothing's happening. The same is true for your dreams. You may not see the progress, but that doesn't mean the universe isn't moving things behind scenes. Every delay, every silence, every no, they're not rejections, they're redirections. Faith means trusting that everything is aligning, even when the path feels invisible. There was once a young man who dreamed of becoming a writer. He poured his heart into his work for years, sending out manuscripts, facing rejection after rejection. Friends told him to give up, to find something more stable. But deep inside, he felt a quiet pull, a knowing that his words were meant to reach people. One night, after another rejection letter, he sat in silence and said to himself, "Maybe it's not happening yet because I'm still becoming who I need to be." He didn't stop writing. He stopped worrying. Months later, one of his stories caught the attention of a publisher, and that opened every door he had prayed for. Looking back, he realized that faith didn't just get him through the waiting. It shaped him during it. Faith is not passive. It's an active energy that keeps you moving when logic tells you to quit. It's the invisible fuel that says, keep going even when you can't see the finish line. There are moments in life when you'll feel like nothing is happening, but that's when everything is happening. The roots are growing underground. The foundation is being built. The universe is aligning the right people, opportunities, and timing for your manifestation. The waiting isn't punishment. It's preparation. I once heard someone say, when you are down to nothing, God is up to something. That line always stayed with me because it captures the essence of faith perfectly. Faith doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means believing in something greater than reality. It means believing that the same force that keeps the stars in the sky and the ocean from overflowing is guiding your steps too. When you have faith, you stop needing to control every detail. You begin to relax into flow, trusting that even the detours are part of the destination. There was a woman who wanted to move to a new city to start over. Every plan she made seemed to fall apart. The job she wanted slipped away. Her savings ran low, and she began to question everything. But instead of giving up, she said, if this isn't working, maybe something better is coming. A few months later, a friend introduced her to an opportunity she never saw coming, a new job in a city she hadn't even considered. It turned out to be the exact place she was meant to be. Later, she realized that every closed door was simply guiding her toward the right one. That's what faith looks like in motion, trusting that even the wrong turns are part of the right path. Faith is the highest form of communication with the universe because it says, I believe you, even in silence. It's standing in the middle of the unknown and choosing to believe in the unseen. It's the bridge that carries your intentions from imagination to reality. When you have faith, you no longer chase, you attract. You no longer fear the timing. You trust it, because deep down you know the universe has heard every word, every thought, every prayer. And even when you can't see it yet, everything you ask for is already on its way. And so now you know. The universe isn't somewhere far away. It's listening right now. It's listening to your words, your thoughts, your energy, every second. It's responding to who you are, not just what you say. You don't need to chase, you don't need to beg, and you don't need to prove yourself worthy. You only need to align. Speak with clarity, feel with faith, act with purpose, and trust that everything you ask for is already making its way to you. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. This is the moment. Stop doubting if the universe hears you. It always has. Stop shrinking your dreams because of fear. The universe expands with your belief. The more you trust, the faster things move. The more you appreciate, the more doors open. The more you believe, the more miracles appear. You are not just a small voice in a vast universe. You are the universe, expressing itself in human form. Every heartbeat is proof that you are connected to something infinite, something powerful, something that wants you to win. The universe is not against you. It's waiting for you to speak clearly, to believe deeply, and to move boldly. So tonight, when the world gets quiet, speak to the universe like it's your oldest friend. Tell it what you truly want. Feel like it's already yours. And then let go. Because once you've spoken your truth, the universe begins to rearrange itself in your favor. Say it with me. I am ready. I am aligned. I am heard. Your support means everything. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember this: the universe doesn't respond to those who whisper in doubt. It responds to those who declare in faith. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.